Hello P47, this is the second part of our creation of the world story from Norse mythology. There were so many dwarves and elves that no one could remember all their names. But some of them were called New Moon, Moon Wane, North and South, East and West, Dawdler, Trembler, Grumbler, Friend, Mead Wolf, Wand Elf, Spurt, Wise and Bright. There was also Craftsman, Waster, Mudplane, Swift, Warrior, Oak Shield, Frosty and Artisan. They could help the gods when needed, and that's exactly what they did for the goddess Sif. Sif had long golden locks that were so beautiful that the trickster god Loki wanted them for himself. So one day, while Sif slept, Loki cut off all her hair. When Sif woke up and went to the river to bathe, she realised that she no longer had any hair. She was furious. She quickly discovered that it was Loki who had stolen it. By then, Loki had changed shape to become a swallow and built himself a nest out of the hair. So Sif sat by the nest and waited for him. When he came out, she caught him in a basket and brought him to Thor, the god of thunder, for punishment. Thor stuck his hand in the basket and squeezed so hard around the little bird that he couldn't make a sound. Then Thor took him out of the basket and said, "Loki, I know it is you. You will give Sif her hair back, or I will squeeze you so hard that you die." Loki agreed to give Sif her hair back, but he had a trick up his sleeve. He took the form of a snake, crawled into a hole in the ground, and went all the way down to Nidavellir. In Nidavellir, he found the dwarfs Brock and Eitri, two crafty brothers. Loki made a bet with them. "I bet that you two can't make a hammer so strong that not even Thor can break it. And I bet you that you two can't make a spear so light that Odin can throw it across the world. And I bet that you can't make golden strings more beautiful than Sif's hair." Brock and Eitri looked at the snake and said, "We bet you we can make these things, and if we win this bet, we shall have your head as our prize." Loki agreed to these terms, and they all went to Odin, the ruler of the gods, to swear on it. The dwarfs were given the time between 2 full moons to complete their task. First, Eitri put bones in the forge, which was a furnace used to construct things, while Brock worked the bellows. While they were busy, Loki took the shape of a fly and flew over and sat on Brock's arm. The fly bit him, but Brock didn't notice it. Eitri took out his masterpiece, a skillfully made sturdy spear. Then Eitri put gold in the forge, and Brock began to work the bellows again. The fly came back, but this time it sat on Brock's chest and bit even harder. Brock did feel it this time, but he did not stop working. Eitri took out his next masterpiece, long, beautiful golden strings. Finally, Eitri put iron in the forge, and Brock began working the bellows again. This time, the fly flew straight to his forehead and bit so hard that blood dripped into Brock's eyes. Since he couldn't see, Brock had to stop working the bellows for a second to wipe off the blood. Eitri took his final creation out of the forge, a mighty, forceful hammer. But because Brock had stopped the bellows for a time because he couldn't see, the handle on the hammer was a little short. The dwarfs went to Odin and presented their creations. The king of the gods looked at them and praised them. The dwarfs gave Odin the spear, the golden strings to Sif to use as hair, and the hammer to Thor. They had won the bet. "We will have Loki's head as our prize," they cried. You'll have to catch me first, Loki said, and he took the shape of an eagle and flew high into the sky. Don't let him get away, Brock cried. Thor, the mighty thunder god, flew after Loki and grabbed him by his leg. Now Loki pleaded to Odin. The dwarves did not win the bet, he said. They failed at their task. The hammer's shaft is short. And Odin agreed that this was true. The trickster god, in the form of a fly, had gotten the best of the dwarfs. They could not have Loki's head. But before Loki could rejoice at his victory, Odin said one more thing. The dwarfs can sew Loki's mouth together so that he learns his lesson. So Eitri called on his cousins to sew Loki's lips shut. That is how Sif got her hair back and how Loki lost his voice. The end.